Wow. Nice. Webcam, my friend, huh? All right. I get this tested. You can see this right here. You don't see it. Let me take off the webcam. Can see more, you know? Yeah, you see. Land of Asia here and Africa. The part they call Africa, Asia Minor, which is what they call Middle East, you know, West Asia. You see, it's connected. So we're gonna build up on that soon. Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, so Asia. Yeah, so you don't know. This Malasha Baji and the Samaritans. Gonna build on Asia and the continent according to the Muslim lessons. Now, let me turn off this light. Yeah, I can see better in the light. Whoa, whoops. Go back. Excuse that, no, sir. I like what I'm thinking. Yeah, so Asia, yeah. So I'm doing the knowledge about Asia and Africa. You can see Asia is Africa is connected. Egypt is connected to the Rafah crossing. Palestine and Egypt is connected to the Rafah crossing, which is a body of land. It's not a bridge that's built by man, a body of land, and it's not a land that man put down there to make it connect. It's a body of land through continental drift. It's been there for centuries, thousands of years. Years ago, black people say that they try to take Egypt out of Africa. You cannot take Egypt out of Africa. The reason why, because Islam saw Egypt as a strength in the 70s, 60s to fight against Israel. So Anwar Sadat, you know, a Muslim, he led the first war against Israel when he took over Egypt. You know, so Arabs, you know, Muslim connect, they got the Arab flag, Egypt, Arabia, not Egypt, not Arabia, but Egypt, like Jordan, a lot of Arab country got their Arab flag, which is their color, you know, and Sudan too, North Sudan. So Egypt was like a stronghold for the resistance against Israel. But things changed when Anwar Sadat was assassinated by resistance, the militant, the Muslim brothers. So back to Asia now, according to the Muslim lessons that we study, 5% of God's on earth study, Nation Islam, you know, but in Jamaica, a lot of people say, I don't do what Farrakhan do because Farrakhan preach Africa. Farrakhan say African sisters and African brothers. And here I am in Jamaica. And Christians, black people trying to give me respect in their scripture view because I came from the shout out, the Black Gold shout out from after Hurricane Katrina 2005 that damaged New Orleans. But here they say, I don't talk like Farrakhan. I'm the old one who's saying I'm Asiatic and Africa is not Africa, it's Asia. So it's like, to them, I'm contradicting Farrakhan, you know, but Farrakhan's a preacher. A lot of people preach to get recognized, to go on a higher level and hide in the true indeed. But see, Nation Islam do things their way, you know. Because I don't see how a person going to practice something different from what Lesson said. I'm not saying he never once go around and saying that black people are Asiatic, but he doesn't do it as a constant. Like, oh, you have 5%ers who go around that the black man is God, you Asiatic. So on Facebook, well, a lot of them will come and they use the word Africa too. Some of them put Africa on their shirt by itself. I'm like, why they do that? Why don't you just connect Africa with Egypt? Africa and Asia, like the original map do. You got some maps show Africa separate between waters and Asia separate. But that's graphic image. You're supposed to use the graphic image to tell the truth. Now, I'm not saying I'm the one who connected. I got this off the internet, just the way it is. What I did was just cut out Europe from over here and Russia. You know, and you know what I'm saying? Because that's what above Asia, Russia over this side, above China. Over this side, you got Europe. And I cut out Spain. Right up here is Morocco. You understand? So I got that out, but I didn't originate this connected Africa and Asia. This exists. No, I study a lot of things about the Middle East. So when I learned about the Rafah crossing, I like Egypt and connected. I didn't know Egypt and Asia connected. The lesson said the black people, the original people strayed from Asia to that part of the continent. Then they lived in a jungle way of life. And the original people call that continent Asia. But it never said it was connected. So even in my head, before I learned social media, I thought Africa was Asia because it's over that section. It is close to Asia. I didn't know it was connected until I started using social media. No, not that. I got this here. This was America World Almanac. I got this like 1998. You know what I'm saying? And it's shown right here. It's connected. Africa, Egypt right here, and it's connected to Asia. Up here is Europe. You know, so when I got this upstate, that's when I really learned geography locations. A lot of us study lesson, we just preach, we just repeat. You know, we don't go in World Atlas and study these things. You know, so when I saw this thing upstate in Mistake Correctional Facility, took two of them and I studied the map. Look at it, talk about the seven continents. So it's not seven continents. Africa and Asia is one, but the white people call it seven. You know, so to try to divide them to make one side look like they're different from others, thinking they're different from the other side. So it's a mental thing. Because to the original people who sent master fraud, Asiatic people, they look at us as one people because we're genetically the same. That's why the white man call people of color. When you got color into you, you're from the Asian people, Europeans, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of white people understand the genetic codes, why some don't like it, you know, race. But back to this. I don't see how come people living and not teaching the real thing. So I do things different. Yeah, Ismail Shabbat do things different. And not just going in there, they said the people strayed away from civilization and live the jungle way of life. That's another topic I want to discuss. Because who was those people? Those people was who? Granddaddy Shabazz. They say he left the dwelling place from Asia. But this side, he went up this part, up in Africa, what they call Africa. Then the people came back down and they built pyramids. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of history that came about Nation of Islam, tribal Shabazz, that black people left from the Asiatic people went up in here. And that time, this place was like more like a jungle. The wind was heavy, and the people migrated here and they adapted to nation. And their hair, straight hair, became coarse. Yeah. When I heard that story, it was like 1996. I was in Mistake Correctional Facility. And there was a 5% named Shatik Allah. Shatik Williams, that was his name. Never forget it. He was from Queens, Corona. So he looked Puerto Rican. I said, peace. You look Puerto Rican. You have Puerto Rican in you. Because his hair is silky. That's how his hair look. I'm like, you got Puerto Rican in you. He said he ain't got Puerto Rican in him. He's black. I say, yeah, but you got Puerto Rican. You got some type of Hispanic blood in you. You look Puerto Rican. Look at your hair. He said that's his original hair. He ain't got no Puerto Rican in him. He ain't got no Hispanic, no Latin. He was giving me the breakdown of Granddaddy Shabazz. First time I heard it, him and another 5% named Allah You Just from out of Syracuse. So he's giving a breakdown. When Granddaddy Shabazz migrated into this part of Asia, they adapted nature because they dwelled there for 50,000 years. That's the history. And they say when they came back down and people from this side started seeing these people, the wise men of the east, wise people, went up there because they said there was nobody on this part of the continent. So they said, oh, where these people come from? So when they stayed among these people now, the Asiatic black man, they came to realize when they had babies, the baby came out with straight hair. And when they grew older, the hair became coarse. So the scientists said, these people are the same people that left with Granddaddy Shabazz and they adapted nature. That's the history they gave me. I never read that paper, but they taught it to me verbally. That's the history that came from Nation of Islam. Yeah, the people adapted. You know what I'm saying? So we genetically the same, but different hair texture. Nature is like God. You got people from down south in America, countryside, they have a different dialect because of the wind. They speak different from the people in New York. And that's how it is. Yeah, people from California have a different dialect. So the wind affect human beings. The wind affect all people, regardless to what color you come in. So nature is God, but man, nature is God is said to change people. Man just God, but nature is the bigger God because nature change people. You know what I'm saying? So that's yeah, so that's what I learned. That I didn't believe it, I rejected it, but that's come to my sense. Because Lord, you just said Master Father was the only one who came to us after slavery. Nobody who came looking like this. Because Master Father was an Indian. So the story goes that the black people like me, they say was around the table. You know, people give their own ideas or whatever, but they couldn't come. They couldn't send somebody because if a black man sex a white person, woman, the baby gonna come out looking like black regardless. So matter of fact, father was the wise one, Alfonso Muhammad. Some call him Alfonso Allah. He impregnated a white woman who took on his wife, and you know, baby come out looking Arab, Indian, whatever you want to call it, but Asiatic black man, and he came to America. No one would notice him to uplift the so-called Negro, the descent from slaves. Yeah, so yeah, a lot of stories. Probably even Nation of Islam give different stories because they teach to get people aware. I don't mean what they teach sometimes is a full, accurate history because you got to be a member of them. But they give piece by piece. But somehow the gods on earth got it, and that's how I learned it. So back to Asia. So saying I'm Asiatic, yeah. Sometimes I would say I'm a Nubian because I end up liking the word Nubian because I met Egyptians in prison, Sudanese, and they said they don't call themselves Negroes. They said Nubia, Nubian. You know what I'm saying? And even this, you talk about the Nubian desert that's over there in Sudan. So, you know, like yeah, you've got the Caucasus Mountain, so they call them Caucasian, you know. So that's how I came across the word Nubia. Yeah, people talk about Kemet, they call this part Kemet. They call it they call it Kemet, they call it Kush. Got so much name. Because we've been conquered by the Europeans. We are the best. We are the big civilization. And the reason why I rejected Bolshevik because these people didn't have no civilization like us. We had Egypt, you have Timbuktu, uppers, you have Morocco, Muslim, went to Spain and conquered Spain. So how the hell these people know so much? But they said that's the history goes. They had this is the dwelling place where the Asian people's secret society, they have the history. That's why Matterford was sent from this location. He was never sent from this part. They said that was impossible. Had to come from somewhere where the white people wouldn't expect. So that's all today's mathematics. This is understanding there. Yeah. To see things clear for what they are and what they appear to be. Yeah, so I'm out.